is searching for the right child. Somebody is telling you what's right. Now you're going to have to decide what you're gonna do the next step you take in life.
Well, well, well. Hello. That wasn't right. I must have been working with things too much. Hi, guys. Hello, everybody. And hello and welcome to LFM TV. This one is special. This one is for my father. What my father doesn't know is that I have a beautiful chat and a beautiful following here on YouTube that have been supporting me through all of this. And I've been learning and loving and growing and becoming more aware of my emotional reactions to upsets and anger. And they're all saying hi in the chat. But Dad, Phil Anderson, this one's for you. Hi, Super Pup. Hi, L. Hi, DT. Dad, this one's for you. Someday, I hope you do watch this. And anybody else in the Sea Org that happens to be seeing this. All you parents who have abandoned your children because of the Sea Org and because of Scientology. This is for you. Dear dads. Dad. I don't even know where to begin. I've been spending several hours putting all kinds of things together because of a video that you recorded, or should I say that was recorded for you. Can't tell you, can't say who recorded it exactly, right? Not sure if you even know anymore. You used to work at Gold Base. You used to do that kind of, you would know what I mean about all that. So maybe you did know some of the people filming it. And for you guys watching chat, you supporters, you love of lights. If any of you haven't seen the video, I'm going to pull it up here. We're going to watch it. I want to give a little bit of a background to this video. Actually, I'm probably most likely just going to play it and be pausing it quite often. And I mean that quite often because this video was released and made very recently because I've never seen my dad so I like run down. I don't even want to say old because I would expect him to be old. But to me, he seems like a Vietnam war slave or somebody, like somebody who's just run down. He looks, you know. Anyways, dear Dad, here you get to watch me flow with my emotions, say what I need to say, explain things, maybe understand certain things that you do talk about. And my chat sometimes is helpful and sometimes they're very distracting. But if they have questions that are very helpful or meaningful, or I'm missing out on something completely that, you know, the chat has heard my story multiple times. They've heard different versions and views of my story from adults' versions that have been told to me from their perspective. They've had other people on my show, Dad, watching and hearing and asking me all kinds of questions, things you clearly cannot talk about, watching this video. Dad, do you know I have a dog named Foxy? Did you know that? She's beautiful. Foxy, come say. Come up here. Up. Come up. Oh, I wonder if you can see her. Come up, up, up. Look at her, Dad. This is your granddaughter. This is your granddaughter dog. Her name's Foxy Lady. And look what else I have here, Dad. Our Walmart photos. Remember those, Dad? So let's get to it. I also have 2 kitties. Let's not forget about them. Baby and Bubs. So I'm trying to make this as most authentic, loving, emotionally intelligent, also emotionally open. I'm still learning the intelligence on the emotional side. Dad, being able to talk about things, being able to share things in moments and times where I did feel bad about saying certain stuff. Things like that. Okay. So first we'll start with the video. I hope everybody can hear me right. Oh my God. I totally had my mic all the way back. Sorry. Were you guys able to hear me? I'm sure you can. Okay. If there's, hold on. And I also just want to make sure I have everything else intact. Okay. Hold on 1 second, guys, while I quickly do this, just so I can have this for when we are ready to have it. Hold on. Okay. Oh, I wonder if I can just move this. Okay, hold on 1 second. Boom. Can I do it? Yes, I think I can. Perfect. Oops. Good. There it goes. Okay, so let's make sure that's working. Okay, good. Boom. Okay, good. There we go. Okay, so hi. And so, Dad, yeah, I've had to get a few things. I'm just learning as well, Dad. I don't have a fancy studio set up with lighting as you do. I mean, I do. I put time into my own setup and studio with a bunch of my chat's help and love and my own ideas and friends giving me things here and there and making me beautiful things. This is now my studio, Dad. And I don't have to have cuts or edits here. And this is live, huh? So one thing, Foxy's under my table, so I have to be gentle. Don't kick her in the face. Oh, thank you guys all for being here. Thank you, chat, for being here. And thank you for being here through everything that we've all been going through. Okay, I'm going to try to do this. Let's see. The first one is, I'm going to show you guys this video. There may be a chance that I will pause it and even show you a different video. I'll see how it goes, or maybe show you some pictures just to relate to scenarios that I know will be brought up and talked about. So yeah, just be prepared for that. It's a 9-minute video from my dad. But I will be showing some stuff in between. Okay. And hopefully everything works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Hopefully, if it doesn't work where I can't show you pictures and stuff, I might be able to show you them physically. Other than that, thank you. Thank you for listening. And Dad, here we go. Let's dissect apparently yours, right? I don't believe this is, I know it's not fully you because half of it's edited out. Literally every second, there's almost an edit, almost every 5-10 seconds. So that's going to also be difficult to keep up with your mind, let alone my mind, let alone chat being in here and all my friends as well. So, okay, let's see if I can do this. I'm going to pop this open. Here's my dad's video. You go ahead, Fox. Chew that bone. Why is it not opening? Uh-oh. Hold on 1 second, guys. Okay, let's try to click on it now. Uh-oh. Maybe I needed to... There we go. Okay, good. I was like, no! We did all this work. Okay, so hopefully this will work. Chat, let me know. Or mods, you amazing mods. Thank you guys all so much for always being here with me when you can. Even when people think you're not, I know you are. Okay, let's see. Present. Here we go. Okay, good. I think this will work. Let me know if you guys are hearing this. Boom. Share. Okay, can you guys see that? I think you guys can. Good. And okay, I'm going to go here and play this. Okay. I'm already pausing it. My dad and mother are from Ontario, Canada. They met in Canada. Oh no, is it muted? Can you guys hear me? No sound. Can you hear me though? We can't hear it, Laura. Okay. Yes, not the video. Okay, so let me make sure. They said that there's a volume button somewhere in this. Oh no. Uh-oh. Spaghetti-o. So you guys can't hear that. Oh. Okay, Heather, I saw that. Heather said, hold on one second, guys. Be sure to share sound as well when you share the screen. So when it says, so I go present, right? Share screen. Oh, also share audio tab. Yeah, also share. It was on. Also share audio tab. Okay. To share audio, share a tab instead. Okay, share. Oh no, guys, is this not gonna work? Okay, let's see. Can you hear it now? Can you guys hear it or no? No. Can you hear that? No, no. Okay, you can't hear him, but you guys can see the screen. Okay, this is so annoying. Okay, hold on one second. Maybe I'll just have to. It's very low. Wait, so you guys can hear a little bit of it? Maybe I just need to adjust something in the settings. Hold on one second. General, let's see. Not there. Okay. Audio. Mic volume. Hello. Check, 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 check. Maybe it's this. I don't know. Let's see. General. Okay, I don't know, guys. I don't know. Oh, it's just picking up from the headphones? Yeah, that's so funny. Okay. Here, let's try that. You guys can. Could you hear that at all or no? Okay. Uno momento. I got some helpers out here. Okay, let's see. Let me try this link that my friend just sent me. And then let's go like that. See how that goes. And let's go here. Let's exit out on that. Let's go here. Okay, let's see if I can make this work. If my little mind, my little genius mind may have maybe made this work with a little help from my friends. Okay, let's try this. Present, share screen. This one. Okay, share. Can you guys see this? And let's do it from here. And now here's the question. Can you? No audio? Okay. So no audio. So let's see. Okay, let me make sure. Yep, audio's up on the YouTube tab. And then what was the other thing when you're sharing it? Yeah, it's up on the thing. Let's see. Somebody was saying sometimes there's like in the settings. Maybe here? No. Yeah, okay. Okay, let's see this. Okay, ready? Just kidding. Did I unplug? Okay, let's try to. This is so funny. Tori's like, did you unplug your earbuds? Check the audio ones. Okay, let's see. Settings, audio. They're in the mic. They're both in my Shure mic right here. Maybe I should do internal mic so that maybe it. Here, I'm going to get rid of my speaker for a second and we'll see if it'll play the video that way. Okay, let's try that. Unplug earbuds. Okay, well, let's try that once I do this. Present, share screen, share. Okay, tell me if you guys can hear this. Can you hear it? No sound. Okay. Now I'm going to unplug. I'm unplugging. Unplugging. I unplug. Nope. See, that was useless. Well. Still nothing. Hi, Valerie. Okay, well, I definitely can hear it. So let me see. Maybe it's here. No. Oh, here we go. Oh, what is that? Nope, that's not it either. Guys, I don't know why. I don't know why. Maybe I'll try the video again. Here, let me exit out of here. Let me try. There's a volume button on the video that you need to turn up. I know Okay, look, I'm gonna click on this. Give me a sec, guys. The audio from my stream is going to your headphones. Right. So like when I'm playing it, so then I'll go to, no, that's not it. Oops. Okay, so then I can go here. This is all on. What about this? This. Play. Play. You guys can hear that? No? Valerie. Okay, well, clearly, guys, I can't do this without, I wonder if I should just try to upload it a different way. Present. Let me try a different way of uploading it. Video file. Desktop. Let's see if I can do it this way. Open. Okay, guys, let's try this. I don't know. Maybe
I'm
this.
Phil Anderson, and I'm the father of Laura Megan Anderson. Lara was born in the United States. She is an American citizen, and it's kind of ironic because we're Canadians, and so she's the one in our family that was an American citizen. She was raised in LA,
okay. Oh my God,
and then she went to you know, a private school within the church. The school that she went to, I can compare it to my upbringing. I mean, I went to a private school myself, lived there. It was on a lake, and we had all kinds of activities.
Okay, I paused it. Woo! Full screen layout. Maybe that will be better. No, that's better because, but now I don't know. Okay, hold on one second, guys. Audio, because now I can't hear. Oh, here we go. Internal built in. Sure, Mike. Hold on one sec, guys. Maybe let's see if this will work. If not,
activities. And
can you guys? Did you just hear?
The thing I liked about where, you know, Megan went to school was similar.
Megan went to school
because it was like a ranch set up. There were animals there. There were horses. You know.
Can you guys hear that at all?
You know, there was like
can you hear me while
space,
it's talking?
and yeah,
yes?
It was like
Anybody?
It was drug free. It was bullied free. It was like
you can hear this. Okay, good. We're gonna restart. Woo! We did it, guys. Thank you guys so much. Yes, we can hear Ashley. Okay, thank you. Jiminy Criminy. Just when I thought I was going to end the live stream, Diddy-o, Daddy-o. All right, Dad, here we go. We're going to break your message down, which I don't believe was your message, but okay, here we go. Thank you guys for being patient.
I'm Phil Anderson, and I'm the father of Laura Megan Anderson. Lara was born in the United States. She is an American citizen, and it's kind of ironic because we're Canadians, and so she's the one in our family that was an American citizen.
I don't even know what to say to this. There was so much pressure with like my whole family being Canadian, and like I was never the problem in terms of that. But the only reason my family got any sort of citizenship or any sort of excuse for being in America in 1986 is because I was born in a Sea Org Scientology owned building in 1986 called the Wilcox, which is on Wilcox and Selma. And my mother was 6 months pregnant when she flew from Canada, from the organization in Canada, knowing that she was not going back there and that my father was going to be staying there with my brother and sister. And once my mother had me and they were all settled, they would, my dad went back and was there settling everything down, which I'll show you pictures of, so that they can all come join the executive elite, executive strata, or whatever you want to call it, here in California. And they have not left. In terms of moving, they have not left Los Angeles, California area, including Hemet. My mother's still in Hemet. They have not left since 40, 50 years since they've been here. Okay? So this is why, and you're going to see again a lot of edits. We didn't even see how many edits just happened right here. But this is really hard for me to watch. When I first watched this, guys, I saw this before I went to go protest and set everything up with everybody at the Father's Day protest on Elron Harbor Way. So it's like I've seen my dad wear this same shirt and sweater almost every single time we've gone somewhere. This same plaid nice shirt and the same sweat. Like, these are like his items. These are his clothes. And he has probably the equivalent of like a big duffel bag of clothes. That's his entirety of his wardrobe. So, sorry, I'm going to get completely sidetracked, but I really want to break this down. It's only 9 minutes. And again, a lot of people have had videos of parents or family members or ex-Sea Org Scientologists making these horrible videos that are made to look like the person, whoever it's targeted toward, to look bad or to seem unloving or to seem not caring or making up lies and all this. So yeah, I'm just going to back it up a bit here. And so that's why he's being very clear. And this isn't this. And my dad's a proud Canadian, you know, and my dad loves sports. There's so much is going to come up, but he's saying this kind of in his natural, casual way, like, yeah, you know, and me and my dad used to joke about me being the little rebellion American. He's like, yeah, that's my little American, you know. So there's a lot of times he's speaking, and he's speaking with love about me. Yeah.
I'm the father of Laura Megan Anderson. Lara was born in the United States. She is an American citizen, and it's kind of ironic because we're Canadians, and so she's the one in our family that was an American citizen. And she was raised in LA here, and then she went to, a private school within the church. The school that she went to, I can compare it to even to.
Gosh, guys. I don't know where to start on this. I literally, like, the school we went to, knowing the schools even just out here in Los Angeles, the school we went to, that's called the Int Ranch, okay? That's what everybody called the ranch. And most of all, the ranches, like, our ranch was the most, ethical and strict. And well, we were very much strict and all this stuff. Okay. So when he says the school, we went to a private school. We had to be taught this. We had to be taught at the ranch, trained and drilled, as they said, to start telling people in the outside world that this is a private school. We're at like a private boarding school. A private school. Do you guys get it? The kids were like being trained on this by the adults. You guys are a private boarding school. We didn't know what boarding school meant. We didn't understand what that meant, private school, because we never knew what an actual school was. So here my dad is already, I hear him saying, I went to a private school too. Dad, you did? How come I never knew that? My father has never spoken to me really about his childhood or anything other than being in the Sea Org and Scientology. Okay, I don't know how to go back to this now. Okay, good. Here we go. Nope. How do I? Sorry, guys. That's not how. There we go. Okay. So, yeah. Oops.
To my upbringing. I mean, I went to a private school myself. And then she went to, a private school.
There's so much missing, guys. He jumps from Canada. I was born in LA, went to a private school. I went to the Int Ranch when I had barely turned 4 years old. Barely. I think they kind of let me go at 3.5. I think I was 3.5 years old, but I was afraid to say I wasn't 4 because I think they had a rule that you had to at least be 4 years old to go to the Int Ranch.
I'm Phil Anderson, and I'm the father of Laura Megan Anderson. Lara was born in the United States. She is an American citizen, and it's kind of ironic because we're Canadians, and so she's the one in our family that was an American citizen. And
why is that ironic,
she was
Dad?
Raised in LA here, and
it's kind of ironic. Why is that ironic? Sorry, Nora just distracted me with a question. Were you even fully potty trained? I think I have these memories of knowing that I was able to hold my pee or something, because I do remember thinking I was a little bit older than the other kids, because at the ATA, before my dad said I went off to this beautiful ranch, there were a bunch of babies and kids who were 1 and 2 years old and smaller than me. And I would help clean some of the babies and clean. But when we would sleep overnight, when the parents wouldn't be able to pick us up or whatever it was, there would be pee. I talk about this all the time. There's pee. There would be little pee spots everywhere where there were kids on the floor, on the cots. There would either be cots or blankets, but there would be pee. And I just remembered not being one of the ones that peed the bed all the time. So I just assumed, and it could have, I have no, you know what I mean? So yeah, that answers your question, Nora. Okay, I'm going to stick to this again. Try to get back to that. Okay. So he doesn't talk about being born in the Wilcox Hotel, Scientology owned, right? He doesn't talk about the fact that he was also on his post and his job. So the nanny, quote, nannies, which were not nannies, there's a lot of information out there about how horribly babies and kids were treated and how many people were going to Megan Shields and Dr. Dank because babies were getting pneumonia and like getting to temperatures they were fatal. So this was happening with me and other kids from being born in the Sea Org in a random hotel that they like to say was a room for the nurses. This room was for, no, my mom was in room 516. It's on my birth certificate. I have my birth certificate right here. It says 6500 Selma Avenue, apartment 516. My birth lady. Do you want to know who my birth lady was, Dad? I have the information in case you may or may not have been there, Dad. I would love to have that conversation with you, Dad. Burnett Bucker or Rucker, MD, license A34349. I don't know if that helps. But I know that she was in the Sea Org. So everything about my birth and my childhood, Dad, was already in the Sea Org, in Scientology's, not only just being a Scientologist, but born in the Sea Org. So why are you not talking about that? Why are you not talking about Vivian Jenner? How come that? Did that get edited out, Dad? Did you talk about that? And did Scientology edit that out? Vivian Jenner, all the adult nannies, quote unquote nannies at the Sea Org, at the ATA, at the CEO, where all the babies and everything were dead? All the times that there were children having fevers because they were on some barley milk or something that they shouldn't have been, but they were following the policy and then also being neglected. Parents weren't seeing their babies. Dad, were you not seeing me? So yeah, let's talk about that, Dad. I would love to talk about that. Why do you think I was screaming down the fucking street for your name during the protest? So he doesn't talk about that. He just says, and then I went to this beautiful ranch. Okay. Play. Uh-oh. Is it not going to play now? It's not playing, guys. Uh-oh. It says it's playing on my end. Is it playing on your guys' end? No, huh? I would hear it. Uh-oh, spaghetti-o. See if I can upload it again. Sorry, guys. It must be all my heated energy. Open. And there we go. Okay, let's try that.
I'm Phil Anderson, and I'm the father of Laura Megan Anderson. Lara was born in the United States. She is an American citizen, and it's kind of ironic because we're Canadians, and so she's the one in our family that was an American citizen. And she was raised in LA here, and then she went to a private school within the church. The school that she went.
Do you see how he just skipped all of the CEO, the ATA, my 3 years? Where was I as a baby, Dad, for 3 years? Why aren't you talking about my complete young baby childhood years?
I can compare it to my upbringing. I mean, I went to a.
And do you hear? I know my dad really well. Do you hear how many times he's stuttering to my childhood upbringing? Like, you don't even know how to speak about this, Dad, because it's not like your childhood upbringing. Nothing being a child in the Sea Org of Scientology is like your upbringing.
Private school myself, lived there. It was on a lake, and we had all kinds of activities. And the thing I liked about where, Megan went to school was similar, if not better, because it was like.
Really, Dad? Similar, if not better. Dad, you went every day to this lake or whatever school you went to. You were there, Your parents knew you were there. Your mom, my grandmother, Linda, knew exactly where you were. Okay, Dad, you've told me stories about you being on the bike and doing funny things, and you and your buddies would be all putting, you've told me about this, and that your mother, my grandmother, would be fun, but pretty harsh and put you in check, or somebody would be. So it's different. You weren't there, Dad. You were 15 minutes away at the Gold Base, but only saw us for 2 hours. If you finished your job in post, and if Mom finished her job in post, if your statistics were up and you were allowed to get that 2 hour and you caught the bus run, how many times did you have to get a ride? How many times did you miss the bus or the van run? And you had to get a ride to the Int Ranch and only got 1 hour of time, even though we still love that. Okay. It's not how it was. It's not similar. Comparing it similar.
A ranch set up. There were animals there. There were horses. You know, there was like fields, space. And yeah, it was like, it was drug free. It was bully free. It was
drug free, which means also psychiatry free, mental health free, not allowing to have your emotions because now you're not free of your reactive mind, not being able to communicate to anybody like a therapist or psychologist that had nothing to do with planning your whole career being in the Sea Org or Scientology. Bully free? How is it bully free? I could literally name 1,000 fucking times kids were bullied by other cadets and adults all the time. Bully free.
Like the situations that were going on with educational facilities within America, around the world, was a little bit alarming to me as a parent, and I knew that in that situation that she was free of those things. And
Dad, I will say I agree with you a little bit on there. I do agree with your Scientology viewpoint on it was a safer place because I noticed a lot of fucking drugs or whatever going on in the schools. I can agree with you there. I can see that maybe you thought that, well, it's better she's here than being drugged, or whatever your view of it is, than being in those schools. I do understand that.
Allowed to just express herself and how she wanted to do it, you know. And she was able to participate like in horseback riding. She became pretty good at that. I mean, we even talked this one.
So again, horseback riding activities and all this only happened sometimes during the PE, the physical education, which was 1 hour every other day, or every day would be 30 minutes. One day would be an hour. It would change. Maybe that was just depending on whether I was in the governance group or not. But that would be the time we sometimes could play with the horses and go horseback riding. Or when the parents came on the Sunday morning to the ranch, we could go with the parent to the horses. And that's when we could also play or brush or clean the horses during that time, because it would make the parent feel like, oh, look, we have all these animals. The kids take care of the animals, just like you're saying, Dad, just like you're saying. That didn't mean every day of the week we were just riding horses, going up and down them fields, all those acres of land that you have that security's monitoring every move. Riding horses.
And she was able to participate like in horseback riding. She became pretty good at that.
I became pretty good at it, Dad, because I love animals. I loved horses. I loved sports. I loved being active and wild and fun. I did not like being held and told to read an ethics book every fucking time I ran off to go be with the horses because I was sick of doing TRs.
And I mean, we even talked this one about her getting animals, you know. And she asked me when she was like about 8 years old that she wanted to get a goat, you know. I mean, you know, okay, Dad, you've got the responsibility to come with a goat. We drove to a farm. We found, you know.
I did not go with you to a farm. I did not do any of that, Dad. As I'm aware, I'm pretty sure you somehow knew that there were goats that needed adoption or whatever because of a film shoot or some of your buddies, and you were like, oh yeah, my dog. I loved the idea of this goat. Guys, I literally have these pictures of this goat, and her name is Lucy. And this is when my dad got me this goat. And he talks about this goat. Okay, guys, I got to the ranch at 4 years old. This goat didn't happen. This sweet little goat right here. Sorry, give me a minute. Oh, well, I don't want to mess it up. But this sweet goat, Lucy, I mean, like Dad, I can't even tell you, having the animals here. I mean, I have everything here. Being able to have a goat, yes, that was great. But did you know, Dad, that we can move that. Did you know that it wasn't my goat? They were saying that it was my dad's goat. I had to take care of it because cadets aren't allowed to have animals. Do you not remember this, Dad? We talked about this. It's not my goat. I'm not allowed to have animals. An adult has to, a Sea Org member, an adult Sea Org member. Now we're not allowed to be children. Now we're kids, right? Now we're kids. When we get to do something fun, you're not responsible enough for that, right? We got to control that fun thing that Laura Megan Anderson really wants, is a freaking animal. It's just animals, right? Oh, she's such a troublemaker, apparently. You know, why not make her the animal in charge? Why not let her do something she would be good at instead of digging trenches and rock hauling and scrubbing toilets? Why wasn't I allowed to play with this Lucy goat whenever I wanted to, Dad? Okay, I'm going to try to get through this, and then I can show you guys a bunch of pictures and everything after. And I do want to make this quick, but I want to just show that my dad doesn't even have his emotional head here. He doesn't even know half the stuff he's talking about. He doesn't know because he wasn't there. He only came to see Lucy the goat 2 hours on Sunday while hanging out with me. And I would get in trouble.
That had little baby goats, and we got her a goat, and so we dedicated time, like on the weekends, was exclusively.
Do you see how he says we dedicated time? What dad dedicates time? You're a dad. You don't dedicate time. You just be with your child. You dedicate fun time to be with your kid, but time with your kid is with your kid, period, whether you like it or not, Dad.
For her. And like we could do different events, horseback riding or whatever.
Let me back that up. Hold on. Get those demons out.
And we got her a goat, and so we dedicated time, like on the weekends, was exclusively for her. And like we could do different.
Exclusively for me? What does that even mean? Exclusively for me with 50 other kids at the Int Ranch, and that's the only place you can go? Is on the Int Ranch to hang with the animals that are there all week that you don't even know anything about? Because the kids are so obsessed with the animals that they end up using being the animal in charge or playing with animals as a reward, as a control mechanism, Dad. It was no longer fun. I felt like my heart was just being pulled by all these strings of animals, music, songs, radio, because they were natural, normal human rights, Father. Not even kids or children rights, just plain old rights for any human to have. We didn't need permission to listen to music and do all that, and stretch and do ballet and play with the piano. Dedicated the week. What did you dedicate? What about my brother and sisters exclusively to me? What the fuck horse shit is that? I might have messed it up again. Sorry. Uh-oh, guys. I might have messed it up again. Uh-oh. I don't know why it does that. Does anybody know why it does that? Maybe because I am pausing and backing it up too much. Okay, we'll try this again. Dad video. Open. It's just like the things he's saying, Dad. It's just like you just say things that are completely like open, like almost like delusional. Like it's the idea sounds good when you say it, but it's not.
I'm Phil Anderson, and
yes, Phil Anderson. Thank you. It's not the way that it was, and that's where it's like, Dad, I know this is going to be hard for you to take in, but you're missing a lot of chunks of space and time and hours and minutes of a day that a child was not with their parents for months and months and years and years on years and years and all the way till today, Dad, on end.
Father of Laura, Megan, and we had all kinds of activities. And the thing I liked about where, Megan went to school was similar, if not better, because it was like a ranch setup. There were animals there. There were horses. There was like fields, space. And yeah, it was drug free. It was bully free. It was like the situations that were going on with educational facilities within America, around the world, was a little bit alarming to me as a parent, and I knew that in that situation that she was free of those things and allowed to just express herself and how she wanted to do it, and she was able.
If this was true, Dad, then yes, I understand. You see where your heart is like, okay, great, yeah, if it was, but that's not the case. We went to the ranch, arrived there, and it was a dump. I remember thinking as a kid, what? This is the ranch that is magical and great. And they're like, wow, you're going to clean it up. Y'all, you guys are going to make this place white glove, upstat, SO standards. That's what they were telling us. Teaching us how to get our uniform perfect.
To participate like in horseback riding. She became pretty good at that. We even talked to this one about her getting animals, and she asked me when she was like about 8 years old that she wanted to get a goat, okay, Dad, you've got the responsibility to come up with a goat. We drove to a farm, we found, that it had little baby goats, and we got her a goat, and so we dedicated time, like on the weekends was exclusively for her. And like we could do different events, horseback riding or whatever, or we could go for walks. It was an environment that we could do that together. And, I tried to open up for her so if she was interested in music and she was interested in that, we would fool around on that. One time, like, I got a keyboard and brought it home so that she.
One time we got a keyboard and brought it home. Home? Where? What do you mean home, Dad? You brought it to your apartment dorm with 3 other married couples? What do you mean by home? We brought it home. Did you bring it to the ranch? And then it was put in the music room at the Campbell house and sat in the music instrument drawer or closet for months and months, or until you came out and was like, hey, where's that piano? And then we went to the Campbell house. One time out of the 10 years that I was at the ranch base, I was in the governance group, the bad ethics group, 11 times out of the 10 years that I was a child at this ranch. So my whole time there was work. Even if I was being upset, I was still always working, and always something wrong. I was always doing something wrong, getting in trouble for something, getting the goat taken away from me because I was running off to go be with her. So what is the gift of a goat, Dad, when you're a child in the Sea Org? It's a control. It gets used as control. Do you know how many times I got spanked for running down to the horse area? You remember the goat because the goat was the goat, and Teddy, the dog, were my favorite animals, and Flashdance, the horse. Well, I love them all. But when they told us to write you letters and not write about N theta stuff, when they told us to write you a weekly letter, an update, as you would like to say, give me an update. We stayed updated. We kept in touch and stayed updated. I would say how much I loved the animals and the things that I did love doing. And what was that? It's the only thing you know. I loved animals and singing and music and dancing. How could I have been such an out ethics bad child?
She could just, fool around on the piano. I think there was at the school that she was at, she had the access to music there. And it became a big...
Do you hear him? Dad, do you hear yourself? You're saying, I think. I think she had access to it. Okay? Listen to yourself.
Time got a keyboard and brought it home so that she could just fool around on the piano. I think there was at the school that she was at, she had the access to music there, and it became a big purpose line for her. She wanted to excel in that as well, which was I was happy for that because I love music too, and we used to share different stories.
My dad does love music. Dad, you do love music. I wish you would have given me that chance earlier in my life so that I could enjoy it. You knew that's all we talked about. Sports, music, and Mom being ridiculous. And we would joke behind her back, because she would be taking so many pictures so that our family had good PR. What is Mom doing now, Dad? She's stuck at Gold Base by herself, unmarried, doing the same thing she was doing when I was a kid at the Inn Ranch, editing false propaganda videos for the events for all the internal SEER members to keep pretending that whatever they're seeing is happening at the events is how amazing Scientology is, Dad. And it's bullshit. I literally was just filming the CCHR bullshit pop-up film prop-ups, just like your video you're doing here. It's bullshit. It's made up. Dad, you don't work in a fancy office. You don't live in a fancy house. You don't have an apartment that you live in by yourself or with your wife, your new wife. Thank you, Dad, for telling me. I had to find that out through a cousin randomly.
there. And it became a big purpose line for her. She wanted to excel in that as well, which was kind of, I was happy for that because I love music too. And we used to share different stories about music and whatnot, you know. This.
Do you see? He gets nervous even talking about it. He feels awkward. He knows that this is our connection.
School offered many different types of field trips. Usually like once a month they were going either like to a local farm, they were going to.
Wrong, Dad. We were not going to anywhere once a month. Once every 6 months. And they would say, April is Lion King fucking outing, field trip. And if you're upset and you've done this and you've completed your lower conditions and you da-da-da-da, then you can go to the Lion King. And if you have $75, who do I have to ask for that, Dad? Because I'm not getting my $7 pay. I didn't go for the Lion King.
To different events, you know, like there's like, you know, some movies or shows that they would go to.
Phil, hi, Dad. Name one movie I went to. Name one outing I went on. Name one. When you do a return video back to me, since you did this video all by yourself, just like I'm doing mine, when you do this video back to me, let me count some of the things you definitely know. Definitely, okay? Count some of the things you definitely know I went on the trip. What trip did I go on? Quiz, Dad.
I mean, one time they even went to a ship, you know, to...
Who is they? And what ship? It wasn't me, Dad. I never went on the ship. I wasn't allowed to. Or was it that I didn't have a proper passport? Because I hadn't gotten my social security number yet. What was it? I want to know. Why was it? Because I was still in the governess group, yet other governess group people could go. I didn't go on the Free Winds. It's the Free Winds, not a ship, Dad. It's a Sea Org Scientology boat. It's not a fucking Adventureland, Pirates of the Caribbean, Disneyland ship ride, adventure or whatever, or Titanic. No, it was a Sea Org slave ship.
That was like completely where they got to learn how to, it was a big ship, you know, within, you know, like.
Why don't you say the Free Winds, Scientology's Free Winds?
The full oceanic type ship, how to, and I've spent a couple days on it learning how it works.
Wrong. You're wrong again, Dad. You've been lied to nonstop every fucking day of your life about your kids. Prove to me what one of your kids went on a ship to the Free Winds. And how did they get there? Were you with them? Did you drive them to the ship, Dad? Did you make sure I was going as well? Did you make sure, no, that's not fair. All kids are going. Did you? And was it a 3-day ship? Everything you're saying is wrong. Not that you're lying, because somebody could have lied to you and PR'd you.
And how to run a ship, like what school?
Why do they need to teach kids how to run a ship? Literally under the age of 10 years old. Why do they need to teach kids how to run a ship, Dad? What are you lining that up for? The Sea Org, to join the Sea Org, go to the Free Winds. What if all these kids don't want to be in the Sea Org ever? Where's their education to do something else?
Offers that kind of thing, you know, and she went on that. My overview of her and her
liar. Now you lied, Dad. I did not ever fucking go on the fucking stupid ass fucking Free Winds. Okay? Take your words back. Oh, look, they had to reset up the thing. This is a whole nother video clip. So yeah, let's just back this up a bit.
How it works and how to run a ship, like what school offers that kind of thing, you know? And she went on that. My overview of her and her childhood was that it was an active childhood for her. She was
very active. I was literally fucking working 24/7, including sleep breaks was timed out. 15-minute meal breaks, 15-minute breaks during studies of 2.5 hours. L. Ron Hubbard studies, not educational outside world studies where people were making sure one-on-one that you were getting whatever help you needed to make sure that you understood the basic geography and works of life. None of that was happening, Dad. If people were struggling on regular outside course, whatever you would call it, WOG studies, other normal studies of the world, when people couldn't get through them for whatever reason, they would put them on Scientology studies and just say, that's fine. Why? Because they were waiting for these cadets to either turn 18 to be legally old enough to be controlled and told where to go next, or they were being told to get their GED at 16. If they can get their GED, that means they've got their high school diploma. That means they can work. They can get to work. They can go to Gold Base and start really being a Sea Org member. So yes, I was fucking active. And yes, even with you, I would play basketball with you for the 2 hours. I would play basketball with the family. We all liked doing that for the 2 hours, within the 2 hours. So one time it was basketball on the ranch. One time it was horseback riding on the ranch. And that was while also 5 other cadets wanted to ride the horse too. So really we only got like maybe 30 minutes if we were lucky to privately ride the horses, just all 3 of us, me, you, Colleen, and Jarrett or whatever. What is these like overlooking what really happened, Dad? You overlook everything that happens from birth. You overlook the fact that you came to America to join the Sea organization in America. You overlook everything.
Sitting back and bored.
Sorry, I fucked it up, I think. Oh my God, I'm sorry. I did it. Oh my God. I messed it up again. Sorry, guys. Where are we at on this? I'll remember. Okay. Okay.
I'm Phil Anderson, and
we
I'm
know
the father of
we
Laura
know, Dad.
Anderson.
We know.
Like Lara
Lara,
okay, Dad,
Lara,
you've got the responsibility to come with a goat. We drove to a farm. We found, you know, that had little baby goats, and we got her a goat, and so we dedicated time, like on the weekends, was exclusively for her, and like we could do different events, horseback riding or whatever. Or we could go for walks. It was
go for walks. You know that I was under the PAB 6 program, Dad. You know what that is. Chat's learning. But I was under basically a program for somebody that was psychotic. I wasn't fucking psychotic, Dad. I knew some people that were what you would say psychotic. Mentally ill is actually the right word. But L. Ron Hubbard said somebody who is psychotic does this PAB 6 program. And so when you say sometimes we would go on a walk, it's because I had to go on a walk. And maybe it was sometimes good to go on a walk with my father. You went on those walks with me. We went hiking because I wanted to show you how many creeks I climbed up when I ran away. They call it blowing. She's blowing up. Megan's blowing again. That's right. I was running off to get space and air and peace, as you speak of, as the ranch being so peaceful and spacious.
An environment that we could do that together. And you know, I tried to open up for her. So if she was interested in music and she was interested in that, we'd fool around on that. You know, one time, like, I got a keyboard and brought it home so that she could just, you know, fool around on the piano. I think there was, like, you know, at the school that she was at, she had the access to music there, and it became.
I did not have any fucking access. Everything you had to ask permission. You were not allowed to go near the Camel House without security approval. The Camel House had all the instruments and all the music and art supplies for the whole fucking base or the ranch.
Became a big purpose line for her. She wanted to excel.
He says purpose line. That's so Scientology, because when you do like an RPEC, repaired past ethics conditions, when I was doing that PAB 6 program, they made me do a life purpose line and my timeline and what I want and all that. So he's literally referring to this at this time.
In that as well, which was kind of, I was happy for that because I love music too. And we used to share different stories about music and whatnot, you know. The school offered.
And we don't anymore, Dad. We don't anymore. Why? Music was keeping us together, Dad. Being able to guess songs on the radio together in a random car on your one day off on Libs. That was fun. Every fucking second of the day that we could hang and do these fun things, that was fun. But that was you being trapped in the Sea Org with no time to be out in the world and life. You feel guilty if you take too much time off post. That's insanity. For a human to feel guilty that they take off 24 hours and leave the work for some other slave Sea Org member. That's what they're making you feel guilty for.
Type of field trips. Usually like once a month they were going either like to a local farm, they were going to different events, you know.
Local
like
farms?
Like, you know,
what the fuck are you talking
movies
about?
Or shows that they would go to. I mean, one time they even went to a ship, you know, that was like completely where they got to learn how to, it was a big ship, you know, within, you know, like the full oceanic type ship, and I've spent a couple days on it learning how it works and how to run a ship. Like, what school offers that kind of thing, you know? And she went on that.
Scientology cult school. That's what offers that kind of thing and nothing else, and controls your education to only letting you learn certain things, Dad. I should have learned everything about Canada and our background and our heritage and my native genes. Why am I just finding this shit out? And here you are making a video, Dad, when you could come talk to me and you can't. I was screaming your fucking name down the street and you came to do this video. Somebody was asking, is this a recent video? Yes, I can tell because of my dad's freaking washed out, drained, lifeless face. Like I said, it looks like he's been through war.
My overview of her and her childhood was that it was an active childhood for her. She wasn't sitting back and bored and uninspired.
Do you guys hear how uncomfortable it is for him to explain that I definitely was doing a lot of running around and all sorts of fun shit, but he can't exactly say what it is? And the only time I was sitting around being forced to stay still and do something was when? During TRs and auditing and sec checking and during course time. All Scientology, auditing, courses, anything is control. And
not being, you know, not participating. On the contrary, she was involved. There was a point where at the school there was it was time for to graduate, and so she was given a choice to.
Oh my God, I cannot already with all of this. The time at the school, it was time for her to graduate. Claire Headley, oh my God, or I see you in there. Are you kidding me? Do you hear this? It was time for her to graduate. I was 13. I was about to turn 13. Time for me to graduate what? I'm not even 18. I'm not ready to go to gold base, right? That's the next move for me. That's what my brother did, 16, 17. I'm not even 13. What do you mean graduate? From what? What are you talking about? I don't even know what grades are. Other than the grades before going clear on the bridge to total freedom. I fucking was getting sent and shipped off to Clearwater, Florida to join the outside public world Sea Org so that I knew how organizations worked in the outside world because I had been trapped in a fucking Hemet cult ranch for 13 years, Dad. Never been anywhere else. Visited family members on 3-day leave of absence, LOAs, with approval by the Sea Org, by people. You had to get approval to go to your own grandmother's funeral. This is insanity. All these things to get permission to see family, to get permission to go to your dying grandma's funeral. Why do you need permission for that? Why do you need permission to talk to me, Dad? Why do you need permission? Grandma could have taught me so much about tap dancing and music and singing. She did all three. She was an amazing artist. Your mother.
To what she wanted to do in terms of she could stay in Los Angeles. There was another facility that was in Florida.
Do you hear this? He literally says she had options of different things she could do. That was fucking never the choice. There was never a choice of, do you want to go to the Free Winds? Do you want to go to Flag? Do you want to go to Pack Base? That wasn't even an option. So what do you mean? I was given choices. We were told at the very end when we were already sec checked and groomed and ready and told like, well, if you're not ready to join the Sea Org, then you're still being a kid and you haven't learned shit. Then you must stay here or go to the RPF. What do you think we're going to do? We want to leave. What if they asked me, you know what they asked me, Dad? They asked me what I would be okay being away from you and Mom. And I thought I would get in trouble and I wouldn't be able to go with Colleen wherever my sister, wherever she was going to go. If I said no, I wouldn't be. And you know, Mom knew that. And that's why Mom was crying at Gold Base when they were shipping us off and I gave you guys our last hug. She was crying and it wasn't because she was so proud of me. She was so worried. And I had to calm her down. I had to tell her, Mom, stop. Get your TRs in. So there was no shipping us off. There was no choices of where we wanted to go. They just announced it. Oh, I messed it up again. Sorry, guys. There was no choice. Okay. I can't even do what I'm doing. Okay. Upload video again. It's just every time I pause it or back it up, it loads too much and then it like can't think about where it is. So I just re-upload the video because it uploads faster. So it's going to go again to the, I am Phil Anderson's father. I am Laura. Megan Anderson. I am Laura Megan Anderson's father. Okay, let's move this.
I'm Phil Anderson. And
okay. Where was I?
What school offers that kind of thing, you know? And she went on that. My overview of her and her childhood was that it was an active childhood for her. She wasn't sitting back and
doing
bored and uninspired and not being, you know,
because I'm like you, Dad. I'm like
contrary,
you.
She was involved. There was a point where at the ranch at the school there was.
Did you hear that at the ranch at the school? He's being told what to say.
So she was given a choice to.
Dad, you're being told what to say. You couldn't even say the ranch that you have said a zillion million times for 10 fucking thousand years of knowing me. That's how long it feels. You couldn't even say the ranch.
What she wanted to do in terms of she could stay in Los Angeles. There was another facility that was in Florida where she could go to and take on a position there. And she decided that she wanted to do that. Which was great because I was excited about it. So was her mother, and so Megan went to Florida, and she started off by doing positions, advanced in it. She ran into some difficulties while
do you see how fast he's going with this? I joined the fucking Sea Org. I literally went through the whole Lisa McPherson case. I was a HCOMAA at 14 years old, literally interrogating people about their masturbating and about their like evil fucking thoughts and their like financial mishaps and their IRS, their tax frauds. I didn't even know what fucking, I just knew if they have tax issues, they need to figure that shit out or cover it up or clean it up so that Scientology is not at risk whatsoever. I was doing all kinds of shit, but my dad knows this because he knows that I would be, I've already been trained at the ranch, knowing he's seen me once every other week or once for those 2 hours to be able to say, oh, well, I see Laura really knows what the ethics conditions are now. And, oh, look, now Laura knows what a locational is. Oh, good. And now Laura knows what marching and training drills are. Nope. Now she's on TRs and objectives. And, or should I say Megan, Dad? Megan, because I took my name back. You named me, Dad. Right? Isn't this what you told me? You named me Laura. Mom named me Megan. It was your turn to name me, the kid. Right? But then Mom got her way and she ended up calling me Megan and you said fine. Now that I went off into music in the outside world and my new non-Scientology bandmates are going, oh, Laura, when they're trying to put me on the list for their bands or to have my ID for a tour, and they see Laura Megan Anderson because my first name is Laura. I didn't know that. My whole childhood, I was signing my check sheets and everything, MA or MLA, not Laura Megan Anderson. So when I chose to finally have my own life, Dad, I was able to use my real first name, Laura FM, because I am so addicted to the radio, just like my brother who you have not talked to, Dad, who is fucking in hell. What about my brother? What about the video for my brother? Huh? Where's your caring and loving video for my brother? What about my sister who's still stuck in the brainwashed idea of Scientology? Let's not jump ahead. Okay.
She was there in terms of, from what I understand, was her own just sort of integrity and honesty that kind of bit her a little bit, and then it started to descend in terms of her relationship with individuals there. A lot of work was done to try to assist and help her to.
He's literally talking about a lot of work assisting to help me. He's literally talking about me getting sec checked and interrogated for flirting with Tiziano Lugli when I was in CMO as the flag crew programs operator, after coming off of the Lisa McPherson case for 7 months straight, slaving away for all the top executives in the fucking organization at the time. And I was so bored back on my flag crew programs operator job that I took over from Jenna Miscavige, who was fucking being tortured also in sec checks at the time. And because I was flirting with a fucking public, and one of the receptionists who were jealous wrote a flirting report on me, a KR, saying I was flirting, and sent it to fucking 20 people and above, all the way up to RTC. I then got removed because I was flirting as a minor, Dad. You weren't fucking there. I was flirting as a minor with somebody who was musically talented, playing piano. Huh? Who? What a fucking crime. Playing piano at the sandcastle. What a fucking crime. To be demoted down to scrubbing dumpsters at the Flag fucking Fort Harrison with bleach. Scrubbing maggots. From literally running an organization that ran people who did all the physical work, who made programs so that things would work out smoothly. Dad, you're saying I lost my integrity because I flirted with Tiziano Lugli and got demoted from CMO because of that? And then got tortured for months in dishwashing in the CB Galley Clearwater building, where I once was running documents from OSA, from fucking Mark Yeager, Moxon, Kendrick Moxon, files on the Lisa McPherson case back to the WB for all the Marty Rathman and David Miscavige orders that were coming through to and fro. Shredding all those orders and documents so nobody knew that there was any discussion between anybody going on. That's what was going on at Flag, Dad. That wasn't out integrity and I like, what the fuck? You don't even know because you didn't even fucking have a conversation with me ever, Dad. I was your senior at one point. I was CMO CW. So you don't even know because you didn't have the authority to know what happened in CMO CW. You don't even know what happened on the Lisa McPherson case. I couldn't even talk to you about that. So how do you know this, Dad? How do you, quote, know me so well?
Come to, I would say, just a better confront of what she was doing. Unfortunately, it didn't result in, for her, an understanding. And she decided that at that point that she wanted to leave the Sea organization. And I mean, again, I brought her up on the whole occasion that Megan was going to decide her own life. You know, I'm here to offer some choices. And so when
the only time my dad was finally maybe, and he didn't even really acknowledge it, was okay after all the fucking torture, and everybody knows who's tried to leave the Sea Org, you know how long and hard it takes to fucking leave. He was finally, people were finally like, okay, fine, maybe she might be good at this music thing. Maybe.
She decided that she wanted to, it was more that what she communicated to me, that she wanted to pursue the musical aspect of her life. I knew that that was a strong purpose for her. So I was like all the best to her. And I was, look, I'm going to help you and support you in whatever way I can, you know.
You see all these edits?
We were in regular communication. I would think, like, you know, every week she would update me on, you know, what she was doing. She, you know, produced, you know, a CD.
So again, Dad, you're skipping over my whole leaving the Sea Org. Where did I go? What did you do with 17-year-old Lara Megan Anderson, who they could not keep holding at Clearwater Quality Inn because she was such a bad influence on her local best friends in the Sea Org, because she was wandering off going to the movies because she was sick of doing waiting and doing cleaning projects at the QI, keeping away from people so I wouldn't be a negative influence and make them want to leave the Sea Org as well. The only reason I was allowed to leave is because I was causing too much for other people to want to leave as well, because they were watching me and thinking, well, if she's having fun and running off to the, you know, movies, they've all seen me grow up in this. So they're going to be like, wow, her leaving the Sea Org process didn't look too bad. Maybe I could leave too. That's the only reason they let me leave. They threatened me and said, the only reason we're letting you go now is because you're being a negative, you're opinion leader. You're making other people want to leave. And I thought that was cool. And so I said, fine, great. So you can't declare me. I thought that was a blessing. I was like, oh my God, good. So I can't get declared. Perfect. So you missed the whole thing. 3 years and the three times that I tried to leave the Sea Org, Dad, and how you convinced me with my brother to have my brother write me a letter and beg me to stay, Dad. You just brush over shit.
There was a couple of shows that she did locally that I immediately took the...
Hold on. Oh, no. I had to back it up, guys. Sorry. Oh, no. Is it going to do it? Oh, no. Oh, no. No, it's not going to do it. Okay, I have to redo it. A couple show, like he just jumps from, what the fuck, leaving the Sea Org to a couple shows? Like, what the hell? Do you not remember dropping, like, having my mom meet me at the LAX airport? Like, and then dropping me off in Eagle Rock. I had no idea where the fuck I was going because we were going to meet your...
I'm Phil Anderson.
Good, Phil Anderson.
And so Megan went to Florida, and she started off by doing positions, advanced in it. She ran into some difficulties while she was there in terms of, from what I understand, was her own just sort of integrity and honesty that kind of bit her a little bit, and then it started to descend in terms of her relationship with individuals there. A lot of work was done to try to assist and help her to come to
sec checks, interrogation. Dad, what the fuck are you talking about? Assist me. In fact, you made me sign. Security made me sign something that said I can't ask anybody I've ever known in or out of Scientology in the Sea Org for help with work or anything like that. So what did you assist me with? What did these multiple security guard interrogators assist me with?
I would say just a better confront of what she was doing. Unfortunately, it didn't result in, for her, an understanding, and she decided that at that point that she wanted to leave the Sea organization. And I mean, again, I brought her up on the whole occasion that Megan was going to decide her own life. You know, I'm here to offer some choices. And so when she decided that she wanted to, it was more that what she communicated to me, that she wanted to pursue the musical aspect of her life. I knew that that was a strong purpose for her. So I was like all the best to her. And I was, look, I'm going to help you and support you in whatever way I can, you know.
You see all these
we were
edits?
In regular communication. I would think
Choices,
like, you know, every week she would
exactly.
update me on, you know, what she was doing. She, you know, produced, you know, a CD. There was a couple of shows.
A CD. I went in my band. I couch surfed, went through hell. Dad, so much shit happened. I met a guy, a Sea Org dude that basically told me that because when I left the Sea Org, I had a non-interbulation order, that if I didn't date him, you know him, Dustin Kasowitz, if I didn't date him, he was going to have to write a knowledge report on me that would have gotten me declared immediately as a suppressive person. You were okay with that, Dad. You fucking pulled me to the restaurant. Do you not remember that? I know you do. You do remember this very clearly, Dad. You pulled me to a restaurant on your, quote, day off, Lib's day off, to show me the knowledge report that disgusting man, Dustin Kasowitz, wrote on me, writing about all my sexual shit with him, Dad, and you were okay with sitting me down about to talk to me about all this until I literally said, Dad, I'm old. I'm an adult now. I don't need you. And the only reason you didn't keep bringing up that knowledge report is because I said, Dad, don't act like you didn't do things just as bad or worse than this when you were my age. So you allowed me to go couch surfing with all my friends. You and my mom shipped me off to Eagle Rock to be with Lori Burpee and Tom Burpee and the Burpees family. That's not my family. I don't know them. And you just pawned me off there because they're Canadian. You knew them fucking 25 years ago in Canada. My chat knows. I was recently protesting outside of Blue, and we saw Lori Burpee. Her daughter, Jenny Burpee, has unalived herself, who you know, Dad. She unalived herself. Catriona White, her best friend, unalived herself. Would you care if that happened to me, Dad?
That she did locally, that I immediately took the time to go see her, you know, a little bit of odd scheduling, but still made it happen. And
you were in the sea, or you're not even allowed to come to my shows. I had to beg you, and I had to tell you, look, it's on Hollywood Boulevard at the King. You can come. I was like, why can't? I was like, you're my dad. I made it a big fuss. And then you said, fine, I'll ask for the time off.
There, you know, the dad in the middle of the middle of the crowd.
Yeah, you were happy. Look at you're laughing. You loved life, being at my wild show.
So that was kind of like our relationship at that time, and I tried to keep it that way. I went to Palm Springs to see her a couple times there.
No, Dad, you stalked me in Palm Springs. I was dating a guy in a bus at the time, and we were traveling, and it was before Burning Man, and you said, oh, yeah, where are you? You were trying to handle me. You thought I was going off the rails because you were I was living my life going on tour and not doing Scientology courses. And I didn't give a fuck about Scientology anymore. You came and found me in Palm Springs, and I saw you at a Starbucks when I was walking by.
And yeah, there's just like all along the way, just trying to just encourage her to keep her going, because I know that industry can be rough. She seemed to make a connection with a company.
How do you know the industry can be rough, Dad? Have you ever been in it?
In New York, that was going to...
This whole story, literally, he totally like twisted and mixed up, and none of it, again, is true. The idea in his heart of where he thinks he's like supporting me and he felt bad for me and he's trying to say, oh, this is where her downfall was. You fucking have no idea, Dad. You have no idea. You just have no idea. The truth about the New York thing is we made a beautiful album. I wrote all the songs, Dad. I worked with really good producers. They wanted to own the music and own me and run a whole contract with me and do a 360 deal. I didn't want to sign it. Yes, I put a lot of work and went to New York and did all this, and they did a lot of work. When it came to lawyering and all that, which you know nothing about, it just didn't work out. We weren't agreeing. I didn't want to be under a contract. Gee, I wonder why. I wonder why I was so afraid of signing any kind of fucking contract, Dad.
Producer CD, and she was just like bubbly and foamy and told me she was so excited. She was flying out to New York to do this, and I thought, oh, this is awesome. Just keep me, you know. She would email me and call me from New York while she was there.
That's what he meant to say.
It turns out that, and this is what she communicated and told me, that
but I do love how much he cares. He's talking about it. He's using 9 minutes of this.
Wrote into the agreement, whatever contract that she made with them, somehow like manipulated the rights to her songs. Ended up, instead of her making royalties off of it, she owed them money, and that was like a major punch. I mean, like she had a lot of pride and a lot of like she wasn't going to let it show, because I could see that in her. But I mean, I just felt it just for her. I mean, I knew that that particular point was
Dad.
was rough.
I'm glad that you felt that I was.
And then at that point,
shit, and that my own father couldn't help me because he knew nothing about the fucking industry. Other than that, what? It's rough.
Things started to decay. She started to hang out with individuals that I could just see weren't as productive and as let's just say in her same category. They were getting too much into the partying, too much into the extracurricular, the drugs, the this, that. This is descended down into a rough, wrong road. And I kept, trying to direct her attention to that, to tell her, like, that, this is not the way to go on this particular thing. This started to interfere with our relationship. It was like...
So do you see how much they're pausing him and cutting him, and there's no like real... He just jumps again. I have emails here, guys, that I printed that I haven't even finished printing, of how many emails me and him went back and forth, back and forth, back and forth about little things here. And just like how much times he was saying, okay, you got to call me, or I'm calling, okay, let's meet at this time. And it was always because of something. This was going back and forth of handling me. I got to get her handled. Where's my mom, Phil? Why were you the one sent to handle me? Why can't Diane Anderson handle me, huh? Up at Gold Base. David Miscavige got her on that tight leash, huh? Just like that he did with you and your marriage to my mom.
That, the things I was trying to tell her just were like being kicked back versus...
They're being kicked back. He would... didn't leave my dad on a very nice note there. We're being kicked back. He didn't like my disagreement with what he was saying. That's it.
Any kind of like understanding, or, Megan was going, yeah, Dad, thanks for telling me that. It was more like, yeah. There was a distinct time where there was individuals that they were overtly telling me that, hey, you shouldn't be trying to talk to your daughter. And I was going,
do you hear this? Like, who were these people that were overtly telling him you shouldn't talk to your daughter? Who the fuck are these people? And then you're saying you don't know them? Dad, you only know a certain amount of people. Some outside Scientologists, because your job is to like manipulate them and get their money and get them on the bridge and whatever the fuck. But who were these people? OSA? RTC? Kendrick Moxon? Who were the people, Phil Anderson? And why the fuck are you listening to people you should know? And you're going to try to be like, oh, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I was like, I know my daughter. I'm going to talk to her. I don't need to listen to these people. Who are these people? Why would these people ever be in our relationship, Dad? Why? Everything about your relationship and what you do is controlled.
I'm her father. I don't know who you are, but I'm her father.
I don't know who you are. Look, him trying to get happy again, he's saying, I know her so well. I know her deep inside, and I love Laura. I love her. He's not allowed to get this excited.
Every right to speak to her.
Oh no. Oh no. It's glitching again probably. Let me re-upload it again in case. He has every right to speak to her. This is so manipulated. He's like, look, and then I tried to do this. He's like, I tried to tell people I had every right to speak to her. Don't tell me I can't talk to my daughter. He's trying to tell me like I did try to tell people, hey, I tried to work it out with my daughter. It's like, why do you even have to fucking try? Again, why do you have to try?
I'm Phil Anderson, and I'm the father of Laura Megan Anderson.
That's right.
I knew that was a strong purpose for her. So I was like all the best to her. And I was, look, I'm going to help you and support you in whatever way I can, We were in regular communication. I would think like, every week she would update me on, what she was doing. She, produced, a CD. There was a couple of shows that she did locally that I immediately took the time to go see her, a little bit of odd scheduling, but still made it happen. And I was there, the dad in the middle of the crowd of young kids, and who is that guy? Well, that's my dad. She would say. It's like, so that was kind of like our our relationship at that time, and I tried to keep it that way. I went to Palm Springs to see her a couple times there, yeah, there's just like all along the way, just trying to just encourage her to keep her going, because I know that industry can be rough. She seemed to make a connection with a company in New York that was going to produce her CD, and she was just like bubbly and foamy and told me she was so excited and she was flying out to New York to do this. And I thought, oh, this is awesome. Just keep me, you know. She would email me and call me from New York while she was there. It turns out that, and this is what she communicated and told me, that this company was dishonest, and they wrote into the agreement, whatever contract that she made with them, somehow like manipulated the rights to her songs, ended up, instead of her making royalties off of it, she owed them money, and that was like a major punch. I mean, like she didn't know anybody had any money. A lot of like she wasn't going to let it show, because I could see that in her. But I mean, I just felt it just for her. I mean, I knew that particular point was rough, and then at that point things started to decay. She started to hang out with individuals that I could just see weren't as productive,
and you're very judgmental. You're very judgmental, Dad. Just like when you literally said effing faggot to somebody who was standing outside of a Starbucks who was too flamboyant for you. Like, you know so much of the world, and you could just tell by the book, the cover of somebody's book, just by the way they are, that they're a good person or not.
I say in her same category, they were getting too much into the partying, too much into the extracurricular, the drugs, this, that. This is descended down into a rough, wrong road, and I kept, you know, trying to direct her attention to that, to tell her, like, you know, that, you know, this is not the way to go on this particular thing. This started to interfere with our relationship. You know, it was like, I found that, you know, the things I was trying to tell her just were like being kicked back versus any kind of like understanding, or, you know, Megan was going, yeah, you know, Dad, thanks for telling me that. It was more like, yeah. You know, there was a distinct time where there was individuals that were overtly telling me that, hey, you know, you shouldn't be trying to talk to your daughter. And I was going, I'm her father. I don't know who you are, but I'm her father, and I've every right to speak to her. And, you know, you can kind of step aside, because I want to hear it from her that she does not want to speak to me. And so I finally got at least to that point where we seemingly were going to agree to have a talk that was not going to be interfered with other individuals, and then we just have a father to daughter discussion. And
what, Dad? And what?
Unfortunately, that didn't happen.
It didn't happen. So why would you bring it up? Why are you bringing up some idea that you wanted to have this really great conversation that would really work it out, and that didn't happen? So why would you bring that up and clear your throat while you do it? It's uncomfortable to talk about this because you have to watch every word you're saying. And does any of this even make sense? Even if you're saying all this about me, Dad, so what? What the fuck does this have to do with the price of fish in China? Like, you're my dad, and there's still this really crazy, big-ass, deep, big disconnection from us, and that's called Scientology.
And then a day went by, and there was no answer to the calls, no answer to any of my texts.
So, by the way, guys, a day went by, and this is after that phone conversation, which I'll share if we can get through the rest of this video. We're almost done. With when he called me while I was in the middle of filming for a documentary called Over the Rainbow. And this is after that phone call. He's talking about after that phone call, he tried to call me and email me. No, he called me like 15 times. The next day, like trying to say, come into the org. You got to come in. You know, this is not okay. I literally have all the emails. I just don't want, this is going to take too long if I start sharing everything. I'll do it on another one if I need to. But then I was like, this is going back and forth. Literally, I wrote, so yeah, I'll read the email, but.
Her emails. And then the following day, I received an email from her.
The following day. So he tried to reach out to me a bunch of times here and there, right? That's what he's saying. And then the following day, literally a day later, okay? My dad, you didn't give me any time. You didn't give me time to think, nothing. You're just so rush. Answer me now. You got to do this. You got to come on the org. You got, I read this thing in Science of Survival and it reminded me of you. Like, you literally the next day after that heavy ass conversation.
She didn't want to speak to me anymore and wrote me an official communication that said that. And I was like, unfortunately, that happened. In Megan's letter to me was completely her origination. It was 100% her decision to cut the communication.
He's like shaking his head because it's like, la, 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 la. So he wrote me a bunch of emails. We went back and forth. Then it was like, if you there was one like so right before these emails, right before this email that he's talking about right now, he says, hey, geez, was reading this chapter tonight in Science of Survival. This is September 8th. And this paragraph jumped out to me. Thought of you. One of the greatest single moves which could be made to advance and vitalize a culture such as America would be to free completely the artists from all taxes and similar oppressions. Do you hear this? He's literally lining me up. Dad, you are lining me up saying, I'm going to relieve Lara Megan Anderson, the artist, of all oppressions, and thus attract into the arts the most ambitious and able, and invite them to pursue unchecked the creation of all the beauty and glory on which any culture depends if it would have material wealth. I don't even understand what that's. Okay. The artist injects the theta into the culture, and without that theta, the culture becomes reactive. That's what he sent me. Nice, yeah? And the goat, remember when I gave it to you? What was the first thing she did? He's like literally relating me to the goat, Lucy, at the ranch in the email. While we just keep having these arguments that we can't seem to have fucking discussions about. Then he emails me, how do I actually see you in person? And can you confirm something? What was the goat's name I got you for your birthday? Like, this is so manipulative. Hi there. So I've called about 15 times today. So this is what he's talking about. He called me about 15 times today. And then he wrote, listen, quite an upset in that call on Sunday. I see that. And as your father, I want to be in calm. Calm means communication. I do apologize if what I said was enough to upset matters so you aren't willing or wanting to talk. Clearly, guys, y'all seen the video, okay? But hear me out. I know you, and I can solve this as matter of fact, anything. Oh, he said, I know you, and I can solve this as a matter of fact, anything. We always have. Even when I locked you out in the hall at grandma's apartment when we were in Canada. Yup, I remember that one. Just call me back. ML Dad. That's also very fucking manipulated because I had never been upset or argued with my dad ever. And me and my dad had a moment where he was yelling at me. My mom was supposed to be sessionable. And my grandma was there or something. And I was hungry. blah, blah, blah. I wouldn't go to bed. I was upset. I wanted to eat. He was like, it's way past your lights. You should have eaten. You already ate. And I was crying. I wouldn't stop crying. And he couldn't take it and said, that's it, da, 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 and put me out in the hall. He lost his temper. And I freaked the fuck out. And I was screaming like a maniac. And I guess it might have been a security or somebody was walking down the hall toward me. And I started basically having a panic attack. So he's bringing that up. Like, look at, even at this point of your life when you were so mad at me, we still got through it. So it's pretty fucked up that you bring that up, Dad. He said, so then this was the last. So then he writes me a whole thing. Hi, after all my notes, he's been cut. So my dad was coming to the studio where I did all my art and I lived. He was coming to the studio and I would be out of town sometimes on tour or doing a quick show out of town or out in the desert. And I would come back and there would be notes under the door and the neighbor would be like, hey, I think there was somebody out here sitting in the chair for 3 hours. Oh, the next day he's been out here all day. He was out here all weekend. He keeps coming back. Okay, Dad, you were literally stalking me outside my art studio, which was the only safe place for me to be after you refused to listen to me on the phone call. And then you're demanding me no matter what to go to Celebrity Center, to go you're literally telling me I need to go into the org. I have to go into the org. I can't keep talking to you until I go into the org. Okay. Then you say, after all my notes and calls, you know me, no phone and texting. Haha. He has no phone and he doesn't text. I came home and saw your emails. I had emailed him a bunch saying like, I'm done doing this. Let me make one thing totally and fully clear to you. I will always err in the direction of communicating. He's putting this in caps. And I never, ever give up, especially with people and most certainly with those I care about. Next sentence. So if my antics are weird because I got mad and I was like, what the fuck, Dad? And I slammed the door in his face when he scared the crap out of me when I heard him cough outside of the garden. And I was like, you can't do this. I was so exhausted. I just got there and I was watering all the gardens and he was there. And I opened the door and he was standing right there and it scared me and I slammed the door shut. And I was like, Dad, what the fuck? You're being so weird. I said something like that. I was like, you can't just do this. You can't force yourself in here. And so he wrote this. So if my antics are weird, if my invasions seem untenable, well, that is me, your father. It all comes with the package. Next time, read the fine print when you select your parents. Also not a funny joke, Dad, because they used to always say that I chose them and I chose to be in the Sea Org and that our whole family chose this life together. And that the Anderson family was going to stay together forever and together as a family through using Scientology, Dad, right? So then he said, yeah, read the fine print, and he's trying to be funny and it's not. As long as I can breathe, walk, and put a smile on someone's face, I will persist and do so. Thank you for responding. I got you. I had plans. I have no agenda for you, Laura Megan Anderson. I have nothing to handle you on. I am approaching this really from a self-centered interest. If you choose not to be a Scientologist and be part of the group, that is 100% your choice, and it is okay. So then when he's writing this, I was kind of like, maybe he is listening a bit. I am, and so will be. He's saying, I am a Scientologist and I will be. We can still be father-daughter. We can still be a family. And I very much want us to be. So how about this? If you can get together and if you can't get together until Monday, then let's do it Monday. I'll pick. Literally, I was like, I'm done. My therapist literally was telling me to stop allowing these manipulative communications and that this is gaslighting. So yeah, he was trying to schedule a next time Monday. And then he wrote, love pop, pick it over to letting me know what time will work Monday. Love pops. I only call him pops. So then he started writing pops instead of dad. P.S. Don't bother searching the net to see if anyone else has a father like you or has to put up with it like you do. They don't, because there's just one like me. Okay. I think he's just trying to say he's whatever. So I had been writing him some emails. So he said, well, got that now, and I answered your other email. Amazingly and quite separately, I was going through a suitcase tonight and in a pocket found an old wallet I thought I lost. And in it, folded up, is a list of songs, mostly melodies that I wrote while I was doing renos some 10 years ago. This is him literally, Dad, this is you trying to like relate with me on something and music and like trying to like, you know, get a place with me to be strong in, you know. Anyway, bam. There you are. And there they are. I started humming and singing to them again. And you know what? They actually are quite good. And you know what else? I actually remember started to write songs when I was 7. This is my dad trying to relate to me about music and not Scientology, I guess. I had no idea about why and where it was coming from other than I just started getting ideas and was taking piano lessons at the same time. Gee, Dad, you were taking piano lessons at 7 years old. Long story short, it got invalidated, and that was that. So he's telling me about a time in his life that his music got invalidated, and that was it for him. But then there was this time I said 10 years ago where I was just working and I would get these melodies and I started humming and putting some words so it and some harmonies, and then it came back. So I scratched them out on this paper and folded it up and put it in my wallet 10 years ago. Just something to share. Was thinking of you when I saw it. Much love, Pops. Okay. That's okay. This is where he got the email. Okay. I said, no more. I'm done. I was trying to be the most loving. This was 2 days after that. No more. I'm done. Hi, Phil. I am not going to keep going back and forth with you on this. We both know that leaving the Sea Org is not an option for you. Your decision. I understand that 1,000%. It also is my choice to separate myself from people or groups that I do not support. I do not agree with the Sea Org or Scientology, and yet you continuously keep trying to use calm lines and references of Scientology writings to clear up or handle our disagreements. This is not okay with me. I do not agree with your stable datums, Dad. They are not mine. They are yours. I disagree with separation of family members and PTS or SPs. A course you are full-time studying to handle the situation. He was literally, Dad, you were doing the PTS SP course. Okay. Don't act like I don't know why. I hope I am being very clear to you. I'm going to make this easy. I was doing this for you, Dad. I was making this easy on you. I was making this easy for you because I knew you were going through hell trying to get me handled. And I was not allowed to talk to my mom for the whole year, 2 years, that you were trying to handle me. I'm going to make this easy on you, as I know you are getting a lot of pressure to make a decision with this, and it's only getting a lot of, and it's only making me more distant from you, Dad. This was only making me more distant from you. Our relationship was getting worse. It was pulling up we weren't getting to any conclusions. I said, this, and it's only making me more distant from you and our Scientology family members. I am disconnecting myself from the Sea organization, Scientology, and any of our family members that are Scientologists. I am going my way and doing my life, and you obviously will do yours as you have decided. It's totally okay. Please do not come to my living space. Do you know I was fucking bawling my eyeballs out writing this, Dad, crying. Like, you can't see that because you think I'm just being angry or mad at you or disconnecting from you. I was being told that you are in a, I had read Steve Hassan's book. You should read it. The only way is I had to literally let go. I had to cut off ties. I had to say, I am letting you guys go so that you don't have to be, I don't have to be the trouble person that's getting you guys in trouble anymore. And then I said, please do not come to my living space or anywhere that I might be trying to try and communicate or get in calm with me, Dad. Get in calm, get in TRs, get your confront up. Why can't you cry and just be sad with me, Dad? When does that get to happen? I will not discuss this anymore at all unless you have left the C organization. We will never fully understand each other until you do, Dad. I bear no grudge on you. Literally wrote that. I bear no grudge on you. I love you for what I know of you, and I always will. I will take care of myself and will always be at least doing okay. So please don't worry about me. I wish you all the world of happiness, love, and freedom, and you deserve it. With all my love, your daughter, Lara Megan Anderson. That was the last email I sent you, Dad, because I couldn't take it anymore. And I was learning about mental health and trauma and parents in stuck, mentally abused, narcissistic cults. And I knew where this was going.
And knowingly that she would also then cut.
Oh, sorry. I've got to bring it back up. I'm sorry, guys. I haven't read that email literally until today, until I just printed it. And that was September 14th, 2015.
I'm Phil Anderson, and I just felt it just for her. I mean, I knew that particular point was rough. And then at that point, things started to decay. She started to hang out with individuals that I could just see weren't as productive and as let's just say in her same category. They were just getting too much into the partying.
He's even belittling my friends, saying I'm better than them. Like they weren't in her same category. What? Because I was clean and I've never done drugs, Dad. I've never done meth or cocaine or heroin or whatever drugs you thought I was on. Was so afraid of any kind of pills, psychiatric drugs still. I've only smoked weed and drank alcohol, Dad. And at this point, I had just started smoking weed, you know? So like you put me in this light of like, I was hanging out with musicians and we were making beautiful music and I was finally living my life and having a beautiful life. And I was still able to hang out with you and go to the movies. I was just saying and learning things that you didn't like.
Too much into the extracurricular, the drugs, this, that. This is descended down into a rough, wrong road, and I kept, trying to direct her attention to that, to tell her, like, that, this is not.
Speed it up.
We seemingly were going to agree to have a talk that was not going to be interfered with other individuals, and then we just have a father,
which we never did,
discussion, and unfortunately that didn't happen. And then a
day
went by, and it was no answer to the calls, no answer to any of my texts or emails. And then the following day, I received an email from her. Then she decided that she didn't want to speak to me anymore, and wrote me an official communication that said that. And I was like, unfortunately, that happened. In Megan's letter to me was completely her origination. It was 100% her decision to cut the communication.
And that's what a father does.
That she would also then cut the communication with her mother.
Knowingly. So do you hear this, guys? Knowingly that she would cut the Why, Dad? Why does that mean I would cut the communication? Because you guys have disconnection policies. If I choose to not be a Scientologist and not go to the org and not go to the ethics officer and not go into the fucking MAA to get handled, then I choose to not be a Scientologist. What does that mean? That I no longer can speak to my executive family members or anybody that I knew in the Sea Org or Scientology ever.
And with her sister and her brother too, just because the extreme of what she was saying. So that was her doing.
The extreme. That was the extreme. That letter.
Or anybody else. I mean, as I said, I was like open from the day one to try to open offer the help any way I could. She didn't take it.
Any way you could, Dad. The only way you could is with Scientology. And you take that offensively when I say that. Your daughter needed more than Scientology, Dad. Your son, your family needed more than Scientology. Why don't you get that?
Trying to even, literally destroy that help. And that's not going to help any type of relationship.
So that's that. That was the video that my dad took time to do somehow. Got completely edited. And then was put out before the Father's Day protest. Dad, if you ever watch this, you already know that half of the things you've said, you were mistaken. Let's just say that you are mistaken about thinking that I went on a ship and that I went on all these excursions at the Int Ranch, the cadet org, not a school, not a proper legal certified school. Okay. That's just the beginning. You don't know about the sexual and child abuse that went on. And when I did tell you, Dad, you were so disgusted and angry. You left my art studio. You went back to the organization. And then a few days later, they said, oh, you can have the next day off on libs to handle me on that because you were being feedy-weedy and reasonable about letting me get upset and tell you why I was so mad about being raised at the ranch, the cadet org, in the Sea Org at the ranch. Anytime we try to talk about abuse and the neglect at the ranch, Dad, it was either you or Mom saying, okay, well, we're going to get you a session and let's talk about that. Again, it's always Scientology. We needed more than that. So, Dad, you still have my number. You can call me anytime. I can meet you outside the Blue Building anytime. We were there. We did a protest for you and all the fathers and all the parents that are stuck in the mindset and these false lies that are put on us to you, to the parents, to make it look like we don't want to be with you anymore. We don't want to talk to you anymore. No, we want to talk to you. We want to be with you more. We're sick of all the controls and what you're not allowed to say to me and what I'm not allowed to hear from you, Dad. I want to know more about you. I want to know more about our DNA. I want to know about what you do really love. I want to go to sports games together. I don't want to talk about how everything was so great and beautiful. I want to talk about the bad. I want to talk about what you don't confront, Dad, what you aren't confronting. I want to talk about it all. I want to feel horrible with you. I want to feel things with you. So that's that, guys. I have a bunch more things that I want to show and add, but I wanted to at least try to get through that video. I want to show you the I love you video that I made for them. This is a message to both of my parents. This video I did, it's called I Love You, and I did it in the back of my friend, this person who felt like a mother figure to me, who taught me so much. And I lived in her, like the little cottage back area in Larchmont. And let's see if I can add it here. Hold on. Let's see if it'll do the same thing or not. Okay, video file. Okay, let's see if you guys can hear this, see this. It's my fun little artsy music video I did, and it was a message to my parents.
It's a phone situation, looking for something true. You've gone through your own troubles, not knowing what to. Hope is tough, not enough, find something new. I've got faith for you. I love you, I love you, I love you, no matter what you do. I hold you in my heart for all that you've been through. I love you, I love you, I love you, no matter what you do. I hold you in my heart for all that you've been through. Hold me up when I'm feeling down, hold me close when I'm all alone, keep me safe, far from home, and I do. Hold me up when I'm feeling down, hold me close when I'm all alone, keep me safe, far from home, and now I stay with you. Hold me up when I'm feeling down, hold me close when I'm all alone, keep me safe, far from home, and I do. Hold me up when I'm feeling down, hold me close when I'm all alone, keep me safe, far from home, and now I stay with you. I will stay with you. So if we have to lose it, to keep it strong within, would you care to let it go so we can watch it grow again? The fear's intrusive, but love has stronger ways. So open up and let it go away. I love you, I love you, no matter what you do. I hold you in my heart for all that you've been through. Hold me up when I'm feeling down, hold me close when I'm all alone, keep me safe, far from home, and I do. Hold me up when I'm feeling down, Hold me close when I'm all alone. Keep me safe, far from home. And now I'm staying with you. Hold me up when I'm feeling down. Hold me close when I'm all alone. Keep me safe, far from home. And I will guide you. Hold me up when I'm feeling down. Hold me close when I'm all alone. Keep me safe, far from home. And now I'm staying with you. I love you, I love you, I love you. No matter what you do, I will stay with you. Hold you in my heart. I will stay what you've been through. I love you when I'm feeling down. I love you when I'm all alone. Keep me safe, far from home. And I will guide you. I love you when I'm feeling down. I love you when I'm all alone. Keep me safe, far from home. And now I'm staying with you. Hold me up when I'm feeling down. Hold me close when I'm all alone. Keep me safe, far from home. And I will guide you. Hold me up when I'm feeling down. Hold me close when I'm all alone. Keep me safe, far from home.
So there you go, Dad. I love you. And to the world, you're watching our stories. You're hearing the details. You know what's going on. I'll keep talking about it. I'm going to keep breaking this down. And maybe part 2, dear Dad, I'll remind you of all the love that we did have and the moments that we did have together. And I can show you some pictures and maybe explain what was actually going on in times that you thought we were just having fun and playing games and going on trips to ships. All right. Love to you all. Thank you all for being here. Free Phil Anderson. No more kids in Scientology. And let's just keep learning and loving. Dad, I love you. See you soon.